The Nigeria Democratic Congress Secretariat, which doubles as the residence of the former governor of Bayelsa State, Mr. Siriake Dixon, is hosting a consultative meeting with the former Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and former Kano State Governor, Mr. Kwankwaso. This meeting is coming just a few hours after Mr. Peter Obi and Kwankwaso dumped the ADC. After the meeting behind closed doors for over 1 hour, the leader of the party applauds the crisis-free nature of the Nigeria Democratic Congress as he welcomes the new entrants.
On behalf of our party's leadership, that you, the two of the biggest political brands in our nation.
The former governor of Kano State, Mr. Kwankwaso, calls on Nigerians to register under the party as he announced an immediate registration of his camp.
Is submitting its register, I think, on the 6th. Now, at this point, I would like to invite all Nigerians, including brothers and sisters who are in diaspora, especially those who are interested in contesting elections in this party, to register as soon as possible.
His part, Mr. Peter Obi advocates the need for the federal government to promote a free democratic space devoid of political crisis.
But we are using this occasion to plead for the government of today. You know that I contested the election in 2023 in a different party. Kwankwaso contested the election in a different party. But the government of today have ensured that they put up crisis upon crisis, which led to litigations and everything in our party that made us to abandon those parties and move to join another party, thinking that our situation will abate. But what we saw is that they carried the same problem to where we went to, creating several unresolved litigations and everything. And today, we left that place for NDC, where the leader have already told us no litigation. We are pleading with them, for sake of democracy, please, don't come here.
The in-law that have already been accepted in the family, the membership, the NDC.
The meeting climaxes with Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Kwankwaso receiving their membership cards of the Nigeria Democratic Congress.
That came from his heart.
Don't come here.
Don't
go somewhere else.
That came from Peter Obi's heart. He said, please don't come here. But let's discuss the ripple effects of this particular movement with Professor Udenta. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Founding father, National Secretary of the Alliance for Democracy. Morning, Prof.
How much is I present myself before you, and to Nigerians I say, hi.
Are you going to join the party that Peter Obi is in right now? I saw a picture of you put together recently.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
In some of the environment.
Okay.
But not in Abuja and not in in the context of a political party, situation.
Are you still staying with the Alliance for Democracy, or are you going to join
AD is gone.
It is gone.
The CS crisis upon crisis 20-something years ago. The party is now defunct. But you see why I carry that badge with pride? It's simply because the party was a legacy party. Among the three that was constructed in 1998 to usher in this Fourth Republic.
The PDP, which you know now is condition and is fate. And then APP no longer exists, transformed and transmuted into different formation.
Are you joining the NDC as well?
What I do as a patriot is to call the Nigerian condition the way it is. When the time comes for alignment, if the time comes for one to participate in the process of building a new Nigeria in the context of this electoral process, I will make my stand very clear. But for today, I wear the toga of a nationalist who is very, very, very watchful about the way and manner our democracy is evolving. A friend of mine, Dr. Kule Fabemi, described this current government as totalitarian tiptoeing. He's had some conversations with you.
Yeah.
I talked about hybrid regime. When you talk about state capture, both in terms of presidential power, apparatus of the justice system, even electoral bodies like INEC, and then a court. You can emasculate multi-party democracy to suit your ends. So when people be cried out, do not come here. It's not abstracted statement to say, I'm worried about nothing. PDP was the biggest party in Africa. Not just in name, but in reality. What is the party today? Because you find a situation where people who do not have any business to be in the party have eventually rendered the
There are many people who believe that Peter Obi has moved around a little too much.
Oh, yes.
At the time when he was in the PDP,
Yeah.
there are many who believe that he should have just stayed there.
Okay.
Worked with Atiku. You know, being deputy chair at that time.
Okay.
As opposed to now all of these movements. And the argument is that these constant movements that Peter Obi is doing diminishes, you know, the idea of him. You remember that, I don't know if people remember this, but Peter Obi represented an idea.
Yeah.
And I think still does for many people. A lot of people are very fanatical about
it. Much more
it.
now than before.
But the constant movements, do you feel like it chips at that legacy?
I will address it. Peter Obi was the running mate of Atiku 2019. That was for a strategic political reason. It was conceived by the party there for whatever reason that it was a turn of the North. Because Buhari was in power 2015. So if a person from the North could be a candidate for the party 2019, he has Peter Obi place a support in the role in that relationship. It would have worked well for the country. It would have won. 2023 will be the turn of the South. So in 2023, there's absolutely no way a true born Southerner would have simply given up that mandate and said, I will not contest the election, even if I don't win. And he won. That is why when Tinubu won, the clamor now has been, shift this thing to the South where it is already. That's why Bala Mohammed, formerly of the PDP, said, as the chairman of the forum, let's get this into the South. Concerning the movement, presidential aide, Bayo Nanoga, actually said Peter Obi is a political nomad. He used the term yesterday. I prefer to be a political nomad than a presidential nomad. A president is actually nomadic. Well, imagine where he is today. Imagine the past 6 months where he has been. Spend more time outside than here. So maybe he has infused nomadology or nomadism into Nigerian political behavior. On a serious note, the search for not a perfect platform by the likes of Peter Obi and Kwankwaso, Bala Mohammed in his own way, Sheikh Makinde in his own way, his mutation and evolution. When a state has been captured, when the law courts have been weaponized, what we call lawfare, they mentioned that in the conversation.
But that's what happens when you keep looking for places that you can be featured on.
You don't look
the ideal thing for a personality like Peter Obi, and even for Rabi Musakongo, which we're still trying to wrap our heads around the fact that he's not in the NNPP, a party that he formed himself. The thinking for a man like Peter Obi would be to grow something, wouldn't it? Start something, grow it, own it, have the structures in your hands, be in a position where it can't be infiltrated, where you do not fall for these tricks.
A simple answer. PDP was a formidable party, but it was brutally put down by a combination of forces outside of it and bigger than it. NNPP was, as you said, smaller party, but coherent. Put down by the same forces.
With an idea. With an idea.
Yes, with the same forces. SDP is this grappling. Which one is a faction that is real and not real? Now you move to ADC, where they congregate and said, okay, here is a home we have carefully built across time, from the old order to a new transitional form. That home has been invaded. Now we have multiplying legal challenges. One, a high court judgment. Two, go back to the high court. Now, the registration. What you do is a classic Asian wisdom. When the hunter has aimed and will never stop aiming, you run as fast as you can. What they are doing now is mutating and adapting into a form where they found a new home called NDC. And the prayer for every patriot The prayer for every Nigerian is, leave this platform alone. There are some poisonings now in our ranks. There are some interlopers. There are some people become, later day, the moralists who are saying NDC that. But be giving signaling to some characters to be purchased by the state to say, there is a judge out there that could be compromised. There's a judge that's willing to play the ball. That judge out there should not play this ball.
Okay.
This party, NDC, like APM and a few other parties people are now going to be part of, should be left alone. Democracy thrives when the ruling party, like Yar'Adua, supported what the party democracy. Jonathan registered APC. Buhari didn't even bother. Who was there? This government, because it has not performed, it has not worked. Our president has become so nomadic. He has failed to govern. The idea is, I do not want to have a contest in 2027. Shut down PDP, shut down ADC. Now possibly infiltrate NDC. That will not happen. This is the last resistance I think Nigerian people are going to look up and say, the final call has come. Everybody, media types like you, I don't know how we were doing the struggle for democracy when Abacha was around. The media was not aloof. The media was engaged. Okay. There is a crisis in the country today about democratic sustainability.
Before we move to Lagos, elections are mathematics. You know this, right? Ultimately, it's math.
Considerably. Right. With other variables and other factors built into it.
But ultimately, it's
the number.
It's number
crunching.
So if we're crunching numbers, right? And I'm pretty good at math.
Good.
If we're looking at it, what has happened now? If we have a particular number of electorates, and then we have a ruling party. Now, what you've done is that you split the votes among NDC, ADC, Labour, PDP.
Who told you that?
That's what's happened.
That's not what happened.
So with those four struggling for it, you've left the bulk for the APC.
Can we educate Nigerians or enlighten them?
All right, explain to me how these movements have not guaranteed a Tinubu presidency in 2027.
I can tell you that with casual ease.
Okay.
First and foremost, INEC and the Tinubu presidency conspired to ensure that nobody even comes out on the block. We had APC primary 2022 in August 7th. We had state primaries for governorship in September. They squeezed everybody into what? The end of May. So many parties will not even make it because they infused crisis to this party through using lawfare. Some of these parties are surviving. You can see that NDC is going to survive. You can see that I don't know what happened to ADC, but I hope maybe it survives. Because the smaller party called APM, where the governors of PDP may have a home, will survive. End of May, you have 8 months. I don't know whether the government calculated it well. Last time there was only 2 months for campaign. You have 8 months now to build this infrastructure across board. The opposition will be united. When they have a smaller party here and said, take care of your home. Take care of the home front. Take the governorship, take the Senate, take the House of State Assembly. Presidential sit down at the table and say, who has the best shot to deliver this thing? Who has the numbers of the state to crunch it and say, the polls upon polls upon polls have shown that this momentum is on this side. Everybody will rally around. Even if they don't have 100% rallying round, go back to 2023. Bola Tinubu scored 37% of the vote. The other ones combined 64. I agree. In 2020,
so you think
I said, wait. In 2023, this is mathematics. The placeholder for P2B was Doyin Okugbe from the south. Placeholder. There was nobody in the north to even partner with him. And the biggest, many people say he won. I don't know, but he said he won. With even fragmentation of the position. Now, the biggest name in terms of grassroots mobilization, populism in the north has come to say, I will partner with you. And a lot of other bigger princes across the north are rallying around across the south. In that sense, NDC has constructed now with the support cast of the opposition parties, we deliver this. NDC, with minimal support, built on Nigerian sense of resilience, democratic sustainability, we do it. The problem, as I said, is tell the government through the media, the vuvuzela of the media. You have the massive vuvuzela. Scream aloud. Democracy is not one man standing without election. Democracy is to test the performance of this current president and his team in 2027. It is easy. The opposition can rhetoricize the argument. We will do this, we will do that. You may believe them, may not believe them. This one will not tell us what he will do. He's going to run on his record what he has accomplished. 2024 budget not implemented. 2025 not implemented. 2026 yet about to come. Money borrowed, not money spent. crisis upon crisis upon food stop availability, staple food, and so on. What then do we do? The government of the day is running scared. And running scared implies that once a position put the house in order reasonably well, bingo, this is end game. That is why I will state that message from P2B, message from Kwankwaso and others. Leave this party alone. Do not procure agent provocateurs. Do not procure, moralists who have no moral foundation or imperative. Do not procure a compromised judge somewhere. We are watching for any judge to entertain any case concerning multi-party democracy anymore. You've done that with PDP, survived it. You are doing that with ADC. I don't know how it's going to play out. With other parties now, Nigeria will say enough is enough. Please, let us prepare for elections in 2027. Robust, competitive contestation for power between a government that has failed miserably and woefully, led by a nomadic president, and a breed of resilient Nigerians inspired by hope and a new order for the country.
And most importantly, that prayer by Peter, we do not come here. Let's go to Lagos. Let's go to Lagos. I has a few questions for you.
But it's looking like some. Thank you, Kayla. Well, Prof, it's good to see you again. It's looking like some people may actually be joining because we're hearing rumors. We're hearing rumors that some political juggernauts in certain parts of the country, including the governor, are planning to. They are having talks with the NDC and another political party, the same way Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Rabi Kwankwaso have done. But that's on the one hand. On the other hand, what are your thoughts on what is happening with the PDP now? The AD is one of those, should I say, legacy parties that as you said, has gone.
Parties, yes, sure.
But now it's looking like the PDP is going in that tangent as well. First with the Supreme Court ruling, and now we're seeing that the two remaining governors may themselves be finding their way out of the political party, particularly because of their difference with Mr. Nyesom Wike, whose faction seems to be the legitimate faction, and I'm not sure that these governors would want to align with Mr. Wike on this call. What are your thoughts? What would you expect for a Governor Seyi Makinde, for a Governor Bala Mohammed right now?
You see, the issue of which faction is the legitimate faction, you take it with a pinch of salt. This matter or these matters are not yet resolved. Warfare was yes, I said with a pinch of salt, because the Supreme Court and interpretations of the judgment, is still a matter up there in the air. For example, Mabara, who is the chairman of the BOT, is putting everything together to get to INEC and maybe compose a cabinet committee. Maybe the other side, that the APC members find themselves in PDP. They're not the members of PDP. Yes, Wike is not a member of PDP. You know that, I know that. We're just wasting our time here on this, talking to ourselves. A minister's house at the pleasure of a president. He speaks for the president. Presidential directive and presidential communication filters into ministerial communication. Whatever Wike has done, he's going to do is at the behest of the president. If there's a crisis in PDP...
Are you saying that Mr. Nyesom Wike is the president's mole in the PDP?
He's not just a mole. You are smarter than that. A minister is a man under authority. Apart from his wife and his children, in private conversation, everything he does in public, he does at the behest of the president.
But a minister, a member of your party, I apologize for butting in, so just so we have clarity, a member of the Alliance for Democracy at the time, a member of the Alliance for Democracy at the time, Chief Bola Ige, was an active member of the Alliance for Democracy and was a minister of power under the Obasanjo PDP government at the time. So what's the difference here?
The difference is simple. If you are putting a minister from another party, you do your job as a minister. You don't play politics. You don't do AD then. You don't do PDP. You don't get involved with the matters of PDP or AD. You do your job as a minister. He should focus on his job as a minister of FCT. The moment he sits with you or Kela or other people there to speak about public policy, about politics, is the president speaking. He's not saying so. That's public service rules. He should understand it. The minister can't speak for himself under any consideration except in private. But in public, whatever he does is at the behest of the president. That's why I say, don't bother with Nyesom Wike. He has no matter in this hand. He's doing the bidding of his father. His father is the president of the Federal Republic. PDP may survive the current imbroglio around it, But no party and no leader would like to live in uncertainty. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, who led the party as the chairman of the Governors Forum, will not want uncertainty around himself. He's a second-term governor, all right, but he needs a successor in Bauchi State. He needs senators there, he needs reps there. He must find a home for them. Why those other issues are worked out? Same thing with Sheyi Makinde, who I'm sure soon will announce the platform he's going to be part of to say, I need to protect my people. Why the party grasps with the challenges thrown upon it by the president, the APC, the INEC led by Mupitong, which I said has been created and procured to serve the interests of a single party system in the country. And they just going to resist it. So that is a short answer to your question. Because the parties suffer because of crisis imposed upon them. PDP is suffering today not because of internal implosion, but because of external explosion coming from the outside. And it's clear.
Okay. I'd like you to expatiate on that a little further. But before that, when Chief Bola Ige was a minister under the Obasanjo PDP government, did he not attend party meetings, Alliance for Democracy party meetings, or he just remained a minister? He was not a member. He was not an active member of the Alliance for Democracy. Didn't he attend meetings? Didn't he make contributions to the party?
Let us cast our mind back into history. Bola Ige served from 1999 till he died. He died as active Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I was secretary of the party for that period. He didn't really bother with the party so much. He bothered with the government. He had an assignment that is time-consuming. As the first minister of Attorney General, the Minister of Labor, of Power, it was a challenging bid for him. I didn't go to his office and said, Uncle Bola, can you really stay in the office at 11 p.m. in the night at your age? He said, I got to do it. He focused on his work. As Attorney General of the country, he focused on his work. He avoided party politics and party entanglements. The point you must not escape is that the minister is appointed by the president. He serves at his pleasure. He has no autonomous political life of his own. He is going to do what the president wants him to do. If the president is not happy with him, he simply does what removes him at his pleasure. The fact that Wike is still minister of FCT, enjoying the powers and appurtenances of that office, means the president loves what he says. He said, remember, I dropped my heart for you in the media interaction. He is the son, being the vision of the father. And we have a nation saying, if the father tells you to go and steal, you don't go instantly. You smash through the door. Wike smashing through doors because the father, the president, is telling him what to do. If Bayo Nanuga and presidential team that said it is not true, they should take me on. Like Wike is on his own, isolated from the president, independent of him. If Wike wants to take me on, that is far more powerful than the president. He's not doing his bidding. In every instance, I am here. He can have the right of reply. He can have a town hall. So beyond the PDP matter and Brother Bola Mohammed, who has found a small home for his people, I suspect that the opposition parties will still come back together. And once more back into the NDC matter, because of what happened yesterday, the historic moment. You find the leader of the party, Seriake Dickson, former governor of Bayelsa State, Kwankwaso, P2B, and a whole array of leading Nigerian voices, patriots who care about the nation. It is important that we, not just in the studio here, as nationalists and patriots, but the media, should be watchful. The vanguard of protection of democracy, civil liberties, and media freedom lies with all of us. This government has refused to govern. The only way they want to win is to shut down multi-party conversation and space. So there will not be any contestation 2027. Sorry, Mr. President. Whatever you are now, the message is loud and clear. Nigerians have found a home, not only in NDC, in other parties too, and they will come together and they will remove you from office.
I'm looking at the comments we're getting on social media.
It was very hot.
So people are doing math on our YouTube page. So they're trying to break down exactly how those votes work. Okay. And it ties back to what we're talking about.
223.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Okay. 37%.
Bola Tinubu lost about 12 states or so that Buhari won.
Okay.
Okay, now, as I said, if P2B, many people say, is not out there, cannot say with certainty. The speculation is that he won, but denied victory. Who come that close with no northern presence. Now, the most efficacious grassroots populist leader in the north, maybe the only person that comes close enough is Bola Mohammed of Bauchi State, into that populism, that charismatic appeal, and said, I will throw my lot in with this new package. He said, because upon me. Because we know that this country is a fragile society. The fault lines are exploding. There are many ungoverned spaces. This government is not watching. Look at what he said in plotting. Insecurity will not chase me away, whatever they do. Because they're not attending to that. Therefore, if you have this broad appeal across the northern corridor, both east and north, east and west, and then the middle belt, that is not central, down to the south, where the support has bled in. I can tell you for free in the southeast, if P2B is on the ballot, every Quisling, for Quisling go to the Second World War, find out who is a Quisling, a general that betrayed his people. Every Quisling in the southeast will run for their life at the appropriate time. That's my declaration here. From a Bonnie, a Quisling there. From Anambra, another Quisling. From across the south, from Abia, another Quisling. Even in my state of Enugu, we're watching whether there are Quislings there. They will do what? They will run for cover. The people will speak with one potent voice. So with the South-South. And incredibly, maybe even the Southwest, those who really understand the progressive nature of the Southwest politics, where I was bred, where I was buttered, who see what is going on now as a newcomer to that historic tradition of warism. They may speak quietly and say, enough of these shenanigans. In the hands of this president and his raucous team of noisy aides.
Let's talk about Sheikh Makinde and Bala Mohammed. What next for them?
What they for them is they'll make a choice. PDP is on the racks. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
The party has serious problems. They are not congenital, but problems now constructed. I don't want to go into that details. I've done so. What they do as politicians, I said here, Kela. Politicians are ghosts, or they are ghostly. They move in a terrier form. You can't pin them down. That's why they couldn't pin Obi down, couldn't pin Kwankwaso down, they couldn't pin Balamanda down. He's in the APM. He's building that party in his state. Maybe we want to build it even beyond his state. Sheikh Makinde, we should make a move. They need to survive, not just because of themselves, they're second-time governor, but because of the people who are with them, they're loyalists, who are committed to the vision of governance and development. At the end of the day, the PDP survives post this conflagration it finds itself in, legally imposed by the government of the day with INEC as a cheerleader. Then we even come back to the party post this election. Maybe we will come back to the party again, but we don't know that. Down the line, it's an unformed entity. Until we get to that historic time, until we get to that bridge, we can't cross it.
Before we go, I want you to talk a bit about resilience of a politician in politics.
The resilient spirit of the politician.
Resilience of the politician. Because what's happening, and we've seen this happen before, and I'm seeing people even talk about it here on our social media. It's like Windows, the football season.
You know this
the window where people are traveling. This is transfer season.
You know this resilient spirit.
However, we do, and I said that to Honorable Abejide before he left here. He said no one is exempted from this lifestyle of nomadic politics, where no ideology is leading the conversation. No one stands for something, and we can say this is what this person stands for. And we are.
It is not true.
No, you may as a person.
You too are a person.
But when you're moving from one political party to the other, you are reinforcing the belief that none of our political parties have any ideology. They are just SPVs.
I can tell you differently. I can tell you because I know about ideology. That's part of my core field.
Yes.
And ideological formulations and formations.
Yes.
Too. The philosophical content here is weak. The broad ideological spectrum is weak, but there's something we call a sense of self, pride in your identity as a person, integrity of your heart, performance, even when there's no ideological formulation around you. As I said about the president who is a nomad, even in politics he too was a nomad. He could tell you he has an ideology. He moved from AD, my party, to AC, to ACN, to APC, searching for something, maybe purposeless search without vision. I have a P2B who is directed with a clear mindset of resilient spirit that we need to have a platform of a sort, whether PDP, whether APOGA, but that is going to be tailored towards what? Production and not consumption. Towards procurement that is very in tandem with physical responsibility. Growing the economy, ensuring that poverty is reduced, that is, insecurity is contained. These are all ideas of governance and development around which you build ideology. If you're searching for socialism, communism, we have not gotten there. We're looking for principles of power and its utilization, prudence in managing resources, prudence in managing human beings, and at the same time being very efficacious in the deployment of these resources. We have that in Nigerian politicians, exemplified by Kwankwaso, P2B, Bala Mohammed, and the rest of them.
All right, we do have to go there. Professor Udenta, founding National Secretary of the Alliance for Democracy. Thanks again.
Kela, I'm happy I was not totally brutalized. Nice conversation with you. It's a pleasure to be with you here this morning.
I don't know where that is coming from. I'm not a brutal person.
I know. I'm just joking. Not am I a brutal person against him.
Well, thanks again.
It's a pleasure.
And that's our show this morning. Many thanks for being with us. Hey, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm Kayla Megwa.
Well, thankfully, Prof didn't talk about me being brutal. Amaya Makide, Business Morning is on the hour. Enjoy the rest of your week.